Next up at UFC Vegas 80, we have a very interesting light heavyweight fight. We have Philipe Lins taking on Jan Cutelaba. Philipe Lins 17-5 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He is riding a 3-fight win streak. Taking on Jan Cutelaba 17-9, 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that early win over Tanner Boser. Philipe Lins, former heavyweight. He had some decent power there. Looks like he still has that power down here at light heavyweight. Bless you. He has a BJJ black belt, but he does prefer to strike. He's going to hang out in the pocket, trade, or just walk you down with those heavy hands. He's coming off the decision win over Maxim Grishin, where he looked like he did have power. And he was swinging, but then he just went all in on the wrestling, and the takedown attempts were trash. It showed low fight IQ. It's just not very good. It was one of the most disappointing winning performances I've seen in a while. He's taking on Jan Cutelaba. This guy is a grappler who has massive power in his hands. He's also very dangerous and has no chin. He can be sloppy. His takedowns are sloppy, right? He's body locks and just muscling you and pushing you to the ground. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic. He's all of those things, but no chin. He will just chase the finish with everything in his body. Just everything to try to get that finish. And if he gets put out doing it, then so be it. He's just trying to get that finish. Fun to watch. Talented guy, but just, again, can't emphasize this enough. Almost no chin whatsoever. He does have... let me start that over. He does have quite a few losses in the UFC. His actual UFC record is 6-8-1. But all of those losses are quality losses, and Philipe Lins, resume-wise, will be the worst fighter he's lost to, at least in the UFC. I am going to slight lean Cutelaba here. I think the minus 149 odds are a bit wide. We know he's chinny. We know Philipe Lins is a former heavyweight that has power and decent takedown defense. That should be all you need to just pick Philipe Lins. But Cutelaba just has this way to come out there, knock these people out cold. Philipe Lins looked horrible in his last fight. The sloppy grappling. We've never really seen Philipe defend real takedowns. He's listed at having a 100% takedown defense. It's hollow. If you look at it, he hasn't fought anybody who has as good of a takedown as Cutelaba does. So I'm going to slight lean Cutelaba here for the pick. And I think the sneaky bet here would be over 1.5. Felipe's pretty durable. Cutelaba is not only a first-round guy. He's a finish guy, but not necessarily only in the first round. So I think over 1.5 is the play. Cutelaba's going to be the pick, but I'm not going to bet on him. What do you think, Jakey boy?
I'll be honest with you. I dated a girl one time that had nipples very similar to Jan Cutelaba's, except like even more pink, and it kind of not creeped me out, but it was kind of weird. It's the first time I've been with a girl with like very, very pink nipples, and it was just a very situation. I mean, the shirt came off, and I was like, wow, look at these things. That's new and exciting. So I just want to kind of
was that just the whole people were making fun of you in the chat? You're like, oh, how do I work in here that I've actually seen a boob in real life? Is that all that was?
No, I looked at Cutelaba and I was like, those nipples look familiar to me, and I just wanted to tell that story. So I have no idea
why Cutelaba is the favorite.
Why anybody? No, I don't mind that he's a favorite. I get it, right? He can wrestle. He's got power. He's called the Hulk. But I have no idea why people. I mean, people are like really high on him this week. From what I've seen in the Discord and Twitter and stuff, I have no idea how you can trust this guy. I have no idea how you can trust this guy. Maybe if he was a dog in this match, it'd be okay. Philipe Lins, 38, 39 years old. Cutelaba, still a young guy, has the wrestling. If he's a dog, I get it. But being a favorite, almost minus 150 for a guy with the chin as him, not only the chin, but if and I mentioned in my quick video, it's a doctor, is it Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? Dr. Hyde, Mr. Jekyll? What is it?
Dr. Jekyll.
He is like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of guy, because when he is on top and he is raining down elbows, looks fantastic. You're like, oh my God, how does this guy ever lose a fight? If he is winning the striking exchanges and he is throwing these wild shots, he's got somebody pinned against the fence, you're like, oh my God, this guy looks like he could beat anybody. And then when he starts getting hit, you're like, oh shit. Or when he starts losing the grappling exchange, when somebody's on top of him or off his back, or when somebody's on his back, he is a completely different person. I mean, he looks just fucking clueless when somebody is on him with that pressure. And Philipe Lins is a big dude coming down from heavyweight. He can throw hands. He's a guy that if he gets you against the fence, he will throw some hot power, stinky cheese. I just bit my fucking tongue trying to say that. Stinky cheese that can easily knock Cutelaba out. But not only that, he can kind of slow this fight down, push him against the fence. Cutelaba will gas. And if he gets on top, if Philipe Lins, because Cutelaba can't get taken down, he can't get out-wrestled. If Philipe Lins gets on top of this guy, if he gets on his back, he's going to finish this fight. Cutelaba is a guy that will fade. He can't defend submissions. He can't defend that type of stuff. I think that Cutelaba comes in. His aggression is a little bit too wild. Philipe gets under that aggression, gets into a body lock, works him against the fence. We've seen him do that fight after fight at 205, just kind of slow everything down, work for a takedown. And if Philipe Lins is on top of this guy, I mean, Cutelaba's going to get finished. So I'm on the Philipe Lins side here. I'll be honest with you. I was like really excited that he was an underdog in this matchup. And then as you mentioned in his last fight, I started to kind of deep dive into that film, and I was like, it is what it is. But I'm still pretty confident in Philipe Lins here. I just don't understand if people are picking Cutelaba, but to put money on this guy minus 150.
Yeah, I'm not spending that money.
Man, it seems crazy to me. Like, fuck, man. Philipe Lins isn't a slouch, especially at 205.
No, listen, I agree with all that. I did pick Cutelaba mostly because I know how dangerous he can be, and I know how bad Philipe looked in his last fight, which happened to be a win. But yeah, I'm not going to put money on that. The reality is, it's funny. When I did my quick picks video, or the second quick picks video, I basically was like, I did the whole breakdown, all the analysis, whatever. And then I was like, but honestly, if I didn't watch fights and I just zoomed out and was like, oh, the guy on the left is a former heavyweight that had power and still does, and the guy on the right gets knocked out all the time, yeah, I'm going to go with the guy on the left. And if that's what ends up happening, what are we doing? Why are we overcomplicating all of this shit, honestly? Because it could really be that simple. Former heavyweight knocks out current light heavyweight. Done. There's your breakdown.
Easy peasy.
$7,900 in DraftKings for Lins, $8,300 for Cutelaba. You're probably going to have to pick your side. I imagine whoever wins is going to score pretty well here. Cutelaba's going to get a bunch of takedowns, finish Lins, or at least a late finish, which could actually even be better. Right? Get a whole bunch of takedowns, score really well, boom, finish. Philipe Lins, weather an early storm, get his own potentially sloppy takedowns, or drop Cutelaba, finish him. Could all be worth it. You're probably going to have to pick your side in DraftKings. And if you want to unlock all the DraftKings tools, the insight, the information, the optimizer that will build lineups for you, if you don't even know what DraftKings Fantasy is, we'll teach you at WeWantPicks.com. Just click $10. Just click become a member. It's only $10 a month and includes everything I just mentioned, including courses. One of the courses we have is a beginner's guide to DraftKings Fantasy, which will walk you through what these numbers mean, why they're important. What do you want, Jacob?
This is not a premium play, so I'll just go ahead and say it. I have $50 on Philipe Lins' second round finish and Philipe Lins' third round finish. It is plus 700 and plus 1,000 respectively. That is what I did.
Congratulations.